You're watching Giants Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green, and we have a bunch to get into on today's video. And the main subject is JJ McCarthy, as rumors came out over the weekend that the buzz is suggesting that McCarthy is the quarterback that Joe Schoen wants to draft. We'll break that down in a second. Also, everyone's been asking me, Marshall, what are the Giants going to do with Isaiah Simmons? Are they going to re-sign him? Are they going to let him walk in free agency? I have an Isaiah Simmons update, and it may tell you what he's doing next year. But first, I need to make sure everybody watching today's video has their notifications turned on. Over the last week, we've put out about 13 videos on the channel. We went live 2 times, and we've added 650 subscribers over the last 7 days. And I need to make sure all 650 people that have joined the channel have their notifications turned on. Free agency is still ongoing. The craziness is still going to happen. No matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, we're going to get you guys a video as soon as possible. So subscribe and turn your notifications on for free, informative, entertaining coverage every day on Big Blue. According to Connor Hughes of SNY, he is reporting that the buzz is there that JJ McCarthy is the player that the New York Giants want to draft. Will the Giants do it? They may have to just move up in the draft order. I'm going to tell you guys everything we know about JJ, and if the Giants are interested, I'll also break down his stats, and I'll tell you if he's the right pick at number 6. But I tried to tell you guys over a month ago that I had heard at the NFL Super Bowl at Radio Row that the Giants were heavily invested in JJ McCarthy. We told you that a month ago. And since then, it seems like every single day, the heat and the volume on this subject continues to be turned up. This is what Connor Hughes had to say about McCarthy and the Giants' love affair. Quote, "The Giants remain open-minded as it pertains to the NFL draft. All options are on the table at pick number 6, even after signing Drew Lock. The main position to watch here is quarterback, specifically Michigan's JJ McCarthy. The buzz is there that he's the player the Giants want. League sources spoke highly of McCarthy when polled by SNY. One high-ranking executive said he'll be a better pro than college player. Another general manager said he has everything teams look for: size, athleticism, arm strength, accuracy, played in a pro-style offense. He added he's also very coachable." And I think if there's anything we've learned about McCarthy over the past month or so is that the National Football League and the decision makers with these organizations think much highly of McCarthy than all of these media guys out there that cover the NFL draft. The National Football League loves everything about JJ McCarthy, like Connor Hughes just wrote: size, potential, age, mechanics, his winning nature. There is so many things to love. And let's break down a couple of them real quick. One thing that I know the NFL people love is that all he's done since he has picked up a football is win. This dates back to when he went to Nazareth Academy before transferring to IMG Academy, where he went 26-3. Then he transferred to IMG, the best high school program in the nation, with the best talent, traveling across the nation to play other top high schools. 8-0 at IMG. He played at IMG. He came down to Texas and played Duncanville. I was lucky enough to cover that game. And the moment I got to hang around McCarthy, the moment I got to talk to him, you could tell that this kid was special. I'll talk more about that in a second. But 27-1 at Michigan. All he's done is win. Another thing they love is he is someone that people believe can be the face of a franchise. And I'm not talking about the look. I'm not talking about any of that. I'm talking about the way he plays, the way he represents himself, and how people believe that he is only going to continue to get better. And on top of that, McCarthy's intangibles have people in high positions across the National Football League drooling about not just the player he is, but the person he is. They think he is marketable. They think he can continue to evolve as a player. But most notably, they think he could be the face of a franchise and a franchise quarterback. But when you talk about the football field, he can make every single throw possible. There is not a blade of grass that he cannot touch. Does he need to get better and more diverse in the way that he fits balls into windows? Absolutely. I like to describe it as you have a 1 ball, which is a line drive. 2 ball, a little bit of loft. 3 balls, kind of that moon ball. He really only has that 1 ball right now. He likes to fit everything on a rope. And he needs to improve on that, no doubt about it. but some of the throws this guy makes, you go back to when they played TCU last year, at a 57-yard laser that maybe got 12 feet off the ground. The guy is special. And when you look at the big-time throw percentage compared to some of his peers in this draft class, it stacks right up. Higher than Bo Nix, just 0.2% behind Caleb Williams, 1% behind Michael Penix, and you see Drake May and Jaden Daniels at the top of that list. So he is someone that can also make big-time throws. Anybody that tells you McCarthy has a weak arm or he's just a dink and dunk type of quarterback, I would go back with them and ask him, how many games of his film have you actually watched? Because if you've turned on the All-22 tape, you see that not all the time, but just as much as Caleb Williams, he makes big-time throws when it comes to percentages. I also really love that he is a gutsy playmaker. He is someone that is very, very underrated when it comes to athleticism. He's been dunking a basketball since he was in 8th grade. He can get it done with his feet just like he can get it done with his arm. I also love that his ability to improvise when the play breaks down is much better than people talk about. Look at the completion percentage out of scrambles for JJ McCarthy, once again compared to his peers. He is number 1, and it is not even close. A completion percentage of 71.4 for McCarthy out of scrambles. Bo Nix, 58.6. Jane Daniels, 46.7. Caleb Williams, 41.8. Drake May, 36.8. Michael Penix, 23.3. Once again, if people tell you that all he does is dink and dunk and make plays within the pocket, they're not watching the tape. Because when you do watch the tape, it immediately screams out that this guy can make plays out of structure. And when things break down and he's outside of the pocket, he operates at a much higher clip than a lot of people anticipate. I know he didn't run the 40 at the NFL Combine. He didn't do the vertical or anything like that. But the short shuttle and the 3-cone drill, I thought, really put on display the type of athleticism ability that he has. On a scale of 1 to 10, his shuttle for quarterbacks graded out as an 8.24. His 3-cone drill, relative to other quarterbacks, graded out as a 9.59. They are calling that a great composite agility grade. And that shows up when you go and watch the football tape because he can run it as well. The guy can get outside the pocket and make throws with his arms, but he could also tuck it and run it and make plays with his feet. In 2021, he had 8 missed tackles forced. That number jumps up to 16 in 2022. And this past year with Michigan, he had 18 missed tackles forced, 13 runs of 10-plus yards. 3 runs of 15-plus yards. The year prior, 14 runs of more than 10-plus yards and 6 runs of more than 15-plus yards. He makes plays with his feet, and he also makes plays with his arm outside the pocket. A really underrated athlete, and I truly believe that he is someone that's going to be able to get it done at the next level. But the thing that I think people are in love with the most is his potential. Because we really don't, it's not like a scientific thing that we know what JJ McCarthy is. Because the usage is not at a high enough level, in my opinion, to completely just be 100% certain about the player he is going to be. But sometimes when you are projecting as a scout, or you're listening to these people project, you have to talk about potential. And I also believe the guy also just has the it factor. He turns 22 years old in January of 2025. Jane Daniels, almost 25 years old. Spencer Rattler, almost 25 years old. Some of these quarterbacks in this class are older. He's 21. He'll be 22 in January of 2025. He is still a very, very young kid. And he's gotten better every single year. And that's what you like to see. When more gets put on someone's plate, the more they produce. You don't want to add on to the plate and then the production falls off. That has not been the case with McCarthy. Every year in Michigan, he's got a little bit more. They've let him do a little bit more pre and post snap. And I think the results show you that he's able to handle that. And then at the National Football League level, when more is put on top of his plate, he'll be able to excel in that, even if it takes him a half a season or a season to get there. You look at what he's done the last 2 years for Michigan. The thing that I like about him the most is his efficiency with the football, his decision-making, and his ability to take care of the football. Just 9 interceptions thrown to 44 touchdowns thrown in the last 2 seasons. I also really love that in 2022 when his completion percentage was at 64.6 and his yards per attempt were at 8.4. Those both jumped in 2023. Usually when the yards per attempt goes up, sometimes that completion percentage can go down. That did not happen with McCarthy, going from 64.5% to nearly 72.5%. I say all that to say this. If JJ McCarthy is on the board when Roger Goodell is announcing that the New York Giants are on the clock with the 6th overall pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, he is going to announce that JJ McCarthy will be a New York Giant. If McCarthy is on the board when the Giants are on the clock, he will be the pick. I feel very, very confident about that. But the thing is, he may not even be on the clock or on the board when the Giants are on the clock. The Minnesota Vikings just added another first-round pick to their bag when it comes to draft ammunition, and they're having a private meeting with McCarthy, and it sounds like they're trying to get up maybe to pick number 2 or maybe to pick 3. We've also heard from NFL insiders that cover this league from coast to coast that they believe that 4 quarterbacks are not just going to go inside the top 5. That is what people expect. But some people also think that it could go quarterback in the top 4. I'm pretty confident, though, that McCarthy will be selected inside the top 5. We have heard here at Chat Sports that people close to JJ McCarthy and his camp believe that he will be selected inside the top 5. Will it be with the Giants? Will it be with the Vikings? Or will it be with somebody else? We will know here in about a month or so. Do you want him to be the quarterback for the Giants? Is he a franchise guy? Should he be Brian Daboll's pick of the litter? Let me know what you think. Do you want him to be a Giant? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Before we move on to Isaiah Simmons, I just want to say this. Can we please stop with the JJ McCarthy and the Daniel Jones comps? It's lazy, it's unfair, and you're telling on yourself that you really haven't done an evaluation of McCarthy. So I'll try to sell you in 30 seconds why they are not even the same. Look at what they've done in their college careers. Completion percentage number 1. Daniel Jones just completed 59.9% of his throws at Duke, while J.J. McCarthy completed 67.6% of his throws. Yards per attempt for Daniel Jones, 6.2, 8.7 for McCarthy. In 36 starts, Daniel Jones threw just 52 touchdowns. McCarthy, 49 in 28 starts. And then when you talk about taking care of the football, it's not even close. Daniel Jones threw 29 interceptions in 36 games, while McCarthy threw just 11 interceptions in 28 games. They are not the same. Please, don't tell on yourself. You sound like an idiot. They do not play the same. They are not even remotely the same type of prospects. The question now you're probably asking is, well, Marshall, would you take J.J. McCarthy at number 6? And the only way that I would select J.J. McCarthy at number 6 for the Giants is if all 5 of these players were off the board. If the top 5 picks in whatever order were to be Caleb Williams, Drake May, Marvin Harrison Jr., Malik Neighbors, and Jane Daniels, if all 5 of those prospects are unavailable, then I would select McCarthy at number 6. Odunze would be my 7th-ranked prospects, and I'm splitting hairs at that point. But it comes down to this for me. Would I rather wide receiver 3 at 6 or quarterback 4 at 6? And to be honest with you, the more tape I study I do, the more I talk to people, the more I really start to analyze these prospects. I do have Jane Daniels still as QB3, but J.J. McCarthy is right on his heels when he is currently sitting at QB4. Make sure you are subscribed if you get more updates on McCarthy. We'll get you that coming up as soon as possible. Coming up next, though, Isaiah Simmons. Are the Giants going to re-sign him? If you're watching the show, you've probably asked me. My DMs on Twitter and Instagram are full. I'm going to give you an answer, as he has started to do some NFL visits here in NFL free agency. That's around the corner. But Brian Burns, you are a New York Giant, and officially, Brian Burns' New York Giants jerseys are up for purchase. If you go to chatsports.com/Burns, that's chatsports.com/Burns, you can get yourself a brand new Brian Burns jersey. He's not wearing 00, but he is wearing just 0. And when that is official, they will put the 0 on there, and they will ship that out to you as soon as possible. Get hooked up. Sizes are already going fast. So get it now if you want a Brian Burns jersey for week 1. Chatsports.com/Burns. That information and link will be clickable down in the comments and description of today's show. All righty, let's close it out with Isaiah Simmons. There are reports coming out that the 25-year-old linebacker that he was expected to meet with the Seattle Seahawks over the weekend. I have, once again, tried to find out if that visit did happen. I was unable to do that. But on Friday, I was told that Simmons was expected to meet with the Seattle Seahawks over the weekend, which tells me there's interest across the league in bringing him in to add him to their potential football team. My take on it is he's 26 years old, will be 26 years old. You traded a 7th-round pick for him less than a year ago. You should try to re-sign Simmons, on top of the fact that he is just a good football player. He's versatile. Does he maybe not have great skills or great talent at any one position? Like, is he an elite edge rusher? No. Is he a good slot corner? No. Do you want him playing 50 snaps as your single high safety? No. Do you only want him playing at linebacker? No, which I think kind of hurts him. But on top of that, it raises his floor as a player because he could be used in so many different positions, like he was with the Giants last year when he had 50 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, 3 pass breakups, a sack, a pick 6. He can line up in the slot. He can line up as the deep safety. He can play that star backer type of role when you run in a 4-2-5 with 3 safeties on the field. He can be your only linebacker in dime packages. He could be a sub-package backer in nickel coverages. He's a good football player. And I actually believe that Isaiah Simmons fits what Bowen wants to do just as much, if not more, than the way that he fit in a Don Link Martindale system. As we know, Shane Bowen loves to operate out of DB-heavy sub-packages. He likes the dime. He likes the nickel. And if you're going to run those packages, yes, you need linebackers that can cover, but you also need those coverage linebackers to come in and stuff the run and play inside the box. And Simmons, he could do that. I think he would be a perfect addition or a bring back in this system. I want to see him work with Shane Bowen. I also believe you just gave up a 7th-round pick for him. I know 7th-round picks are pretty much flyers, and you're just hoping on a lottery ticket. But at the end of the day, you never know what a 7th-round pick can be. And that tells me that you value him as a football player. Get the deal done. He's young. Still a good football player. I don't expect the biggest market for him. I don't think it would cost an astronomically high number to bring him back to this football team. Maybe a 1-year deal, $3 million, 2-year deal, $7 million. Like, I think that is very, very possible. And on top of that, your linebacker room right now, outside of Bobby Okereke and Micah McFadden, is pretty damn thin. I like Carter Coughlin, but I like him on my punt return coverage and my kickoff and my special teams. Darian Beavers didn't even make your 52-man roster last year, and Deontay Johnson is a second-year player after being undrafted just last season. You need to bring in another good football player at this position. And Isaiah Simmons, he is that. Is he ever going to live up to the hype that he was when he was coming out of Clemson? No, but he's a serviceable player. He's very athletic. He's versatile. And he's only 25 years old. He'll be 26 years old in July. He still has the prime years of his career right in front of him. I would bring him back. I want to see him play in this defense. And I thought he grew as the season went on. And I think him being in the same room as a guy like Bobby Okereke is only going to help with his development. If you want to see Isaiah Simmons back with Big Blue this year, hit that thumbs up icon for me. A lot of people have asked me about him. I tried to do some research. I heard he was supposed to meet with the Seahawks this weekend. Not sure if that happened. I know a deal has not been made, which means the Giants could still swoop in and try to sign him. If you want him to do that, hit that thumbs up icon right now. The more likes we get, maybe it's more likely he will come back. As always, I just want to say thank you, and I appreciate you guys for tuning in. If you made it this far in the video, make sure you're subscribed and have your notifications turned on. And also, give me a follow over on Twitter and Instagram. I'm tweeting about the Giants, and I'm posting about the Giants more than ever. Hit me up over there at @MarshallGreen_, and we'll see you later. Let's go G-Men.